1984, Pride and Prejudice, Don Quixote, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Fahrenheit 451. These are the titles of so many different novels that have changed my life. After reading a really good book, something about you changes. You're never the same. Even after you read that last page, you'll carry what that story left with you always. For example, when I was 9, I opened up my first novel. Of course, I had read books before, but this was my first real novel, with more than 170 pages, with more than 25 chapters, no pictures, and after absorbing the enormity of it all, I began reading. Though I don't remember what novel it was, I do distinctly remember staying up my designated bedtime, which was 10:30. I wasn't a rebel, I was 9, and reading the entire thing in one sitting. Ever since then, I knew that I'd be chained to a book at all given times, and I would have to devote myself to literature. When an author writes a story, they project themselves and their perception of the world into an interpretation for others to decipher. Authors like Hemingway and Capote wrote stories that were projections of the world as they comprehended it, and created stories that have solid, real-life influences. Opening a book is like opening a gateway into somebody else's consciousness. Think about it. I, the reader, am able to peek through someone else's eyes, get under someone else's skin, and see what goes on in their brain. Which is not something all of us can quite literally do, unless you're Hannibal Lecter, then it's a completely different situation. I'm sorry to offend. Though most people view books as an escape, they are only putting themselves in the position of another human being. So, like, when Jane Austen wrote Pride and Prejudice, she provided the perspective of a 20-year-old woman living during Victorian English time, and how suffocating and unfair it may have been. But without the story to build upon that view, we wouldn't have the idea that surfaced after reading. And I know what you're thinking. Jessica, what about 1984? Or The Hunger Games? Those are real-life depictions. How can those be connected in reality? Well, viewer, I'll tell you, in all honesty, the basis that authors like Suzanne Collins have openly admitted to is that what their books are based on is reality. During an interview, Collins revealed that she derived the foundation for the plot of The Hunger Games from a time when she was flipping back and forth between a reality TV show and coverage of the tours going on during the time in Afghanistan. She, like other authors, create their novels as a reflection of the world as it is, and then write to anticipate what it can be. As I said before, a really good book changes you. As an aspiring writer, I can say that when I put words on a paper, I give a piece of my soul away. But not by losing it, but by sharing it, in the hopes that someone else may discover it, and not only try to understand, but listen. But isn't that what all writers are trying to achieve? After all, Hemingway said, "There's nothing to writing. All you have to do is sit down at a typewriter and bleed." Okay. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm so sorry for you people